In this week's Halloween edition of Wine and Design, I'm going to show you guys how I create this branding guidelines and how I present the new brand to my clients. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're probably wondering why the heck is this person dressed up like a fairy? Well, actually Halloween is in like 4 or 5 days, coming up next Monday. So I figured I wanted to practice my Halloween makeup and just celebrate early with you guys and have fun with it. So this is what I'm going to be for Halloween. A little fairy, super fun. I had a lot of things to make this work. I actually glued on some real flowers on my face, so that took a minute, but super fun to put it together. If you are new here, I post every Wednesday and Sunday, and I like to talk about graphic design because I am a full-time graphic designer, run my own business, and I absolutely love it. I have such a passion for what I do, and I want to share that with you all and share the things I learn so you don't have to learn the hard way, and just share the business struggles, share the fun side of it, and hopefully encourage and motivate you to launch your own business if that's something you want to do. But welcome, thank you so much for coming. Wednesday evening, perfect time to just sit down, sip on your favorite beverage, and let's learn a little bit about branding guidelines. So I'm very excited about this video. I'm going to be showing you guys literally how I put it all together. They just finalized the logo a couple days ago, so now comes my part where I put everything into a package and send them off the branding guidelines. But I'm also going to show you guys what file types I send them of the logo and all the pieces of the brand that I like to send them individually outside of the guidelines. So I really hope this is helpful, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you guys have a great Halloween. I know I'm going to see you guys before that, but yeah, this was super fun. I'll probably take these off in a minute because they're driving me crazy. But let's hop on over to my screen. I'm gonna do some screen recordings and show you how I am packaging up the entire brand. Hey guys, I just started recording my screen so I can walk you through how I'm going to put this all together. I literally haven't done anything since they decided on the drawing and illustration they wanted. So for this logo, it took about 4 revisions, maybe close to 5 actually, because we were really narrowing in on the illustration for them. So it took a little longer than typical, but that's totally fine. I had so much fun making it. But right now, I designed this logo on my laptop, so I'm gonna have to get the font on this computer. Oh, cool, it's here. So this is the font they want and a different drawing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this one over to a new document. Gonna open it up, and I'm just showing you straight up from ground zero of how I am gonna package this all together. So I'm opening up a new document. Doesn't really matter what size because I'm gonna resize the artboard to the artwork, so we don't need to worry too much about that. But I'm gonna put Sacred Ground Cacao Final Logos. I really hope you guys can take me serious with me in this outfit, but it's fun. It's just fun. Okay, now let me drag. So this was the original drawing, and now we have a new drawing, so I am gonna go see if I have it in, oh cool, I do, right, 20, don't think that's the one. I'm gonna go grab the new drawing, which is on my laptop, bring it over here, that way we can finish putting it all together. The drawing, so I'm gonna open it up. This was drawn on Procreate, and then I image traced it to become a vector. I image traced it with 16 colors as the setting. That way I could get all the shading that you can see in here, all the little details and stuff without worrying about colors not being found by the image trace, but it ended up being perfect. So I'm gonna bring this over to the final logo here, and I'm actually going to double check that I need this way smaller, that I have the right version of the logo. So I'm gonna go back into their folder and make sure. This is why file management is so important when you're a designer, because I like to name my files. I'm not the most organized person, but I like to name them V1, V2, V3 so I know which version I'm on for the logo. So that just helps me pull up the right one. So I'm gonna go find it real quick. 1 second. I'm actually just gonna copy all of these over. Command C, Command V. And I didn't grab the right circle. Oops. Command Z. So I'm just gonna go try and find all the right ones that I have. That way I'm just double checking, and then I might even have to go back into my emails since we have done so many revisions. I wanna make sure I'm doing the correct one that they liked. So let me go find that real quick. Okay, so this was one of the more recent ones I sent them, but they wanted to go back to the original font, but their edits were to make cacao much bigger than what it was and just making sure that it stands out. So I'm just gonna apply those changes to this font here. So we're gonna make this bigger. Really simple logo. It was just the drawing that was more intricate and like took some time. So this won't be too difficult, and I'll probably provide them a few different color versions of the logo, like with the font in the red color, and yeah, just so they have it. So now that one looks perfect. Actually, let me fix the pot a little. Looks a little big. Okay, I think that looks good. Good sizing for it all. So I'm going to group them together, and then I'm going to hit the artboard icon and say fit to selected art. And I'm just going to make a bunch more to make all my color versions of it. So I'm just going to copy it over to each one, and you can always fix the artboard afterwards, but this just makes it a little faster. And then I'm going to make sure I have their swatches in here, which I don't think I do. So I'm going to have to go over to I wonder, can I copy this? Copy. Oops. I just copied a bunch of links. I was gonna try and copy this, but what I can do is go and find all the color bars, and then we can just add them to our own swatch in the final logo area. So now I have the colors, so I'm just gonna say, always double check your color mode. A lot of times it defaults to CMYK, but for digital, you're gonna wanna do RGB. And then when you add the colors over here, it's gonna all be RGB. And I could have renamed them, but we can do that later. I'm just trying to zoom through this so the video is not crazy long, and to show you how I do this. So I'm just gonna give them ones with the font in the different color. Green, that looks weird. I'll do one in the white creamish color in case they have like a dark background. They'll probably use that one often. And then what other color? I could try doing the orange. Let's see what that looks like. No. Okay, so I'm just actually gonna keep it those three colors. It's the only ones that really look good. And as a designer, you can kind of guide them with like what colors they should and shouldn't be using. Okay, perfect. So now I'm gonna do the secondary logo. This should go pretty fast. The fonts are missing, so let me see which fonts these are. La Rosa Light. I'm gonna have to bring that over from my laptop, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Brought the font over, so now I'm going to download that real quick. That's the only problem with like designing on multiple computers, is sometimes things don't translate over until you share it with all computers. So just share that, wait for it to upload. All right, awesome. So yeah, I can see why they wanted the cacao bigger. Originally I wanted to kind of separate it because that is kind of a standout word. So I'm actually just gonna drag it over and try and line it up exactly with this, and we'll just make it even with all the words. I'm gonna drag it out. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm gonna play with that and get these all packaged up for them, but I don't think I need to talk while I do it because it's the same thing I did for primary. We're just gonna add different colors in there, add the new pod, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna get to it. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. I have all of the logos set up to export. How I export it is I go File, that'll open, File, Export for Screens, and then we're going to want to make sure all of them are selected, and I'm actually going to rename each one of these, and this is a little bit more tedious, but I want to make sure that it's easy for them to understand. So do primary logo brown, primary logo red, primary logo, and this will actually make it easier for me too when I'm doing any of their materials or anything. So secondary logo brown. Yeah, this will make it easier, especially when I'm doing the brand guidelines, which I'll show you guys. Just will make it a little bit simpler. Submark, it's really not too tedious. Submark brown, submark red, submark beige. Just do it for all. I'm gonna call this beige full, since it's like full color. Green full, and then brown full. Perfect. Now for the settings, and this is where it's kind of cool because it makes it a little bit easier for you. I always select PNG. That's usually the most important of what they need. I like to do 400 ppi because it comes out very crisp and clear and high resolution, and then they can resize it from there if they need to. If you want to export more than PNG, if you wanted to export these all as like PDF or something, or what other kind of format, you can always do add scale, and that'll add on other formats you want to send it as. So I could send it as JPEG if I wanted, but I'm not going to worry about doing that for them. I'm only going to do PNG. If you want to change your PDF settings, if you do have a PDF, you'll go over to the settings wheel, hit PDF, and select your settings there. So that's how you would fix that. But I'm just going to export it right like this. I'm going to make sure it's going into the right folder by clicking the folder icon. Good thing I checked because it was going into a different client's folder. So I'm going to go find Sacred Ground Cacao. And we're going to call this Sacred, actually, we're going to make it an acronym. Sacred Ground Cacao Final Logos. Perfect. Export. Now it's going to export all of them super quickly, and now it's going to be super easy to create the branding guidelines. So here are all the logos, and this is the resolution of what they look like. Super nice. Looks great. The font itself does have that kind of rustic look. That's why you'll notice some of them look a little bit like, it almost looks pixelated, but it's not. It's just the font. Yeah, that looks great. So now I'm actually going to add in the fonts. That way I can save myself some time doing that. So Great Outdoors, let's go find that. And if you have not purchased the font, make sure to do that. I'm gonna have to double check it. But I just want to make sure to add that now so I know which font I used. Great Outdoors, there we go. Copy, oops, it'll be these two. Copy, and then I'm just going to paste them into the final logos folder. We'll put new folder SGC fonts. So this will just save you so much time later on, promise you. Perfect. And then we also will need to add in that font that was on my laptop. Okay, cool. So now I have InDesign open with their guidelines. So I'm going to open that up and show you guys the things I have so far. This is just their mood board. I need to open up the guidelines. So to save myself some time and headache, I actually already was putting together their guidelines when I was sending over like the mood board, the fonts and all that. So I actually have something to go off of already, which is very nice. So it's going to open up. Okay, cool. So here it is. Change this now to be branded to them. So I'm actually going to delete my logo, or we can leave it and then we'll drag their logo into it. But I don't need my logo in there anymore since we already came up with their fonts. I like to make it look really custom to them. So I'm going to go over and find, I'm just opening up the logos we just exported. And I'm going to use the primary cream. Cool. So there it is, because I want this packet to be like them. I want it to be so them. I want it to speak to them. I want them to be able to like print this out and put it on their coffee table if they wanted to. That's why I don't really want my logo on any. I'll have it on like the back page because of course you want to get more clients, but I mean I want them to be able to like use this for themselves too. Branding guidelines. We can just put branding guidelines. And then I actually am enjoying InDesign a lot lately because I find it just much easier to use when you're doing like layouts like this. So if you do buy my template, which I don't think I mentioned in the beginning of this video, but if you decide to buy it, it is an InDesign file. That's the best way to learn. The best way to learn is just by getting something where you're forced to use it. So I recommend trying it out because I'm sure you're gonna love it just as much as I do. Awesome. Now, when you're aligning it to the page, you're gonna want to align it to spread or align to page, either one. Perfect. This is gonna be totally fine for now. And then I'll show you guys what I have going for them. So I have what are brand guidelines. This is like my table of contents, the brand strategy and mood board. So far I have the cover page, the brand strategy and mood board, about the brand, why choose them. I added some extra things in here for them because I felt like it was a good fit for them. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the primary logo here. We're going to make it fit this box. I want to get rid of that color there, so I'm actually just going to hit the fill here, do none, and then we're going to want to resize this. Cool, there we go. Secondary logo and brand mark. See, it's so much easier with InDesign. You just drag them in and it just like saves so much time. Okay, so secondary logo, go right here. And we're gonna really need to shrink this one down. And then we're gonna also wanna do the same for the fill. Okay, cool. So nice. This is one of my favorite parts of the branding process. I think it's fun to like see it all come together and put it all together. So I hope you guys enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy doing it. I'm using the brown versions because that's going to be their main color that they're using, is what I'm assuming. That's the color they liked the best, so that's why I'm using like all the fonts with the brown, all of the logos with the brown font. I want to align these so they look nicely placed on the page. And then on the template that I do sell, you will have to change a lot of the verbiage to match your client's branding. I'm just gonna finish putting this all together and then I'll show you guys the end product when I'm done.
blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it? Talking bullshit. It's hard to see you when your eyes look dull. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Blue dew, bad mood, sort of witty and jaded, but let's not talk about you. Your coyote song on a rerun. Are you hound dog tired, singing all night long? Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Not blue dew, blue moon, been one or two since I ran into you. Do you need a picture? Well, that gets old. It's hard to take one when your iPhone's full. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Not blue.
Alright, you guys, this is the final branding guidelines for this client. I have not exported it yet because there's a few things I want to do, but this is pretty much good enough to show you guys. So I changed the background image to something that matched more of like their color palette and the overall feel of the brand. So this is what I have so far. I'm gonna have to like edit the page numbers. I'm sorry, that's Leo in the background. But this is what I have going so far. Absolutely love how their brand came out. Super fun. This kind of just goes over like what not to do with the logo. This is the brand pattern, including the mushroom that they include in their drink blend, mock-up colors, and the fonts, and oh yeah, and then at the end I put my name as well so that they can remember, which I'm sure they'll remember. But that is what I have so far. And for the logos, when I'm sending them, I always like to basically just drag all of these logos into a Google Drive, and then I just share the Google Drive link so that it's easy for them to download these. So I'm going to be adding these to Google Drive, making sure I have them in their separate folders from secondary, primary, submark, and then having the fonts in there as well. And then I will be exporting, well, I do have the pattern in here, so I'll be including the pattern as well as the mock-up. That way they have that. And then if I was doing their website, usually when I'm doing the branding and website, include like some complimentary social graphics, but this is really all they needed. But I am considering doing some complimentary social graphics since I'll probably mock them up for this anyway. And my template also has these in there, but I'll probably likely just include those for them to use. But that's pretty much everything. So super happy with how this came out, and I hope it was helpful to kind of see how I package it all up and what I send to them when we're finished. But yeah, super cool. Now, if you're interested in the branding guidelines I showed in this video, definitely check it out on my website. I'll leave the link down below as one of the first links you'll see. I do sell this template, so if you're interested in it, feel free to have it. I had so much fun putting it together and just making it perfect for the clients, but really hope that it was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and doing some crazy Halloween stuff. Because super fun. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it so much if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys are gonna be for Halloween, because I'm so curious. I just love it. It's probably one of my favorite holidays, honestly. But anyway, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.